According to The Hollywood Reporter, Warner Brothers is developing a reboot of the Ocean's 11 franchise with Margot Robbie set to produce and star. With Jay Roach on board to direct and Kerry Solomon providing the script, the new Ocean's film is a prequel set in Europe in the 1960s. This movie is primed to be box office gold, because Robbie is a beloved A-lister and everybody loves a good high-stakes heist film. From the cash truck hits against a gun-toting Jason Statham in Wrath of Man to the job infiltrating zombie-infested Las Vegas in Army of the Dead, some movie heists have the odds stacked against them. Triple Frontier 2019. Netflix's Triple Frontier is a powerful parable about the ramifications of greed. Some ex-soldiers get together to steal a fortune from a drug lord, but their refusal to leave behind any cash nearly costs them everything. The money weighs down the helicopter, so they load as much of it as they can onto the backs of mules and embark on a treacherous journey through the jungle. When they bump into the drug lord's reinforcements, they have to dump most of their money into a ravine and the survivors decide to give what little remains of the score to their dead comrade's family. Fast 5 2011. As the Fast Furious series went on, the movies left behind the illegal street racing that defined the early entries and became more of a straightforward action film franchise. The fifth installment, Fast 5, is a heist movie that takes the action overseas to Brazil. Dom and Brian assemble a crew for a robbery. Instead of breaking into the vault, they yank the vault out of the building with a pair of sports cars and drag it through the streets of Rio de Janeiro, closely pursued by the cops. Wrath of Man 2021. Jason Statham reunited with Guy Ritchie for the visceral action thriller Wrath of Man in 2021. Statham plays a cash truck driver whose firearm skills are called into question when he effortlessly dispatches teams of robbers trying to get to the cash he's carrying. As it turns out, he's a crime lord looking for the cash truck robbers who killed his son. Robbing a cash truck is dangerous enough without a gun-toting Statham eagerly awaiting the hit. Killing Them Softly 2012. A decade before courting controversy with his fictionalized Marilyn Monroe biopic Blonde, writer-director Andrew Dominik satirized the Great Recession with his blood-soaked crime thriller Killing Them Softly, starring Brad Pitt and James Gandolfini as a pair of mob hitmen. The movie explores the gruesome consequences of some small-time crooks making the dire mistake of robbing a mafia poker game run by a notorious gangster played by Ray Liotta. Ant-Man 2015. Every movie released by Marvel Studios is a superhero movie, but the MCU has explored different genre frameworks. Marvel has dabbled in space operas, conspiracy thrillers, and high school comedies. With Ant-Man, the studio tried its hand at a high-tech heist movie. Hank Pym wants to get his shrinking tech back from cold-blooded supervillain Darren Cross, who wants to create a tiny army, so he sends a shrunken Scott Lang into the fortified office building in the Ant-Man suit to extract the Yellowjacket suit. The Usual Suspects 1995. Five men's chance meeting at a police lineup ultimately leads to a deadly shootout on a boat in the twisty narrative of The Usual Suspects. The whole tale is relayed by the sole survivor, Verbal Kint, one of the most iconic unreliable narrators in cinema. Kint may or may not be the true identity of Kaiser Soze, the mysterious crime lord he claims that everyone who wound up dead was working for. Army of the Dead 2021. Flying into Las Vegas, infiltrating a highly secure facility, and breaking into the vault of a wealthy magnate would be a daring endeavor on the best of days. But in Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead, the crew attempts this heist while Sin City has been overtaken by hordes of the undead. The zombies in Army of the Dead aren't regular zombies seen in George A. Romero movies. They're separated into two tribes, the Shamblers, which are a lot like shuffling Romero zombies, and the Alphas, who can think and reason and operate like a pack of wolves. Dragged Across Concrete 2018's Craig Zahler's Dragged Across Concrete puts a unique spin on the heist film formula as some criminals band together to rob a bank and a pair of cops, on suspension after video footage of them committing police brutality went viral, plot to steal the loot from them. As the getaway drivers turn on the thieves, and the lawless cops turn on the getaway drivers, just about everyone ends up dead in the final act of Dragged Across Concrete. Heat 1995. Michael Mann's Heat is one of the most exhilarating crime movies ever made. Its 3-hour runtime flies by as Al Pacino's narrow-minded LAPD detective Vincent Hanna relentlessly pursues Robert De Niro's career criminal Neil McCauley. When McCauley's crew sets out to pull off a bank robbery, Hanna and his backup are waiting for them. What follows is one of the most intense shootouts in film history. Mission Impossible, 1996. The iconic image that defines the Mission Impossible franchise is Tom Cruise dangling from the ceiling on a set of wires to access the crucial information on a heavily guarded CIA computer while avoiding the complex laser system used to protect the room from intruders. The floor is so sensitive to touch that IMF agent Ethan Hunt can't even allow a bead of sweat to drip from his forehead or it'll trigger the alarm system.